Welcome back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Today I have a real big one here, and that's why you're probably noticing the artsy-fartsy lighting that I have going on here. I'm trying something very different, and that is, of course, the greatest concert film ever made, Stop Making Sense. The film is directed by Jonathan Demme. It stars the Talking Heads, and I gotta say, this movie, ever since I saw this when I was a junior in high school, back in like 2006, 2007, and this movie just blew me out of my socks. I had already been listening to the Talking Heads for a while, and then I found out about this movie. I hunted it down and I got it. This is back when it was on DVD, and that was a hard DVD to find back in the day. And it came out on Blu-ray. It's got to be like 14 years ago now, maybe longer, and that Blu-ray was another one that was actually kind of difficult to find for a while. And the Blu-ray was okay, but it was really just a slightly upscaled version of the DVD. It really wasn't anything special. But now A24 has gone and completely remastered the film in 4K. They even found some other footage from 3 songs that were deleted from the original film and gone ahead and restored those as well. And this is their brand new super duper 40th anniversary collector's edition of it. And this is only available on A24.com on their shop there, Shop A24, I should say. And this is a hell of a set here. I'm going to talk about the packaging, and then we'll get into the image quality and the audio quality, because a concert movie's got to have good audio quality. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But this comes in this like blue hardbound, almost like box of a case. A24 sometimes goes really wild with their packaging. And then that comes off, and inside is like this hardcover bound book, and you can see it is just a 1-disc set. It is just a 4K disc. That is it. And then it has a book, a literal book of all these different things, whether they're photos that were taken during the making of the film. There's shots of storyboards versus the final film itself. There's even things in here about how they set up the lighting, the production schedule. There is just so much to unpack here. I absolutely love it. There's even handwritten notes on the inside that talk about the shot planning and everything, how they edited the film together. There's all kinds of stuff here. It even has photos from the San Francisco International Film Festival here, where the movie premiered. And it is just really, really impressive stuff. Even a little introduction at the beginning from Jerry Harrison, who is really one of the people that was behind the actual restoration. So way to go, Jerry. Good on you for doing this. I'm glad that he was the spearheader of this project, because this movie really is, and I say with no reservations, that this is the best concert movie ever made. I know some people may beg to differ, but the lighting, the editing, the direction, the cinematography, Jordan Cronenweth just absolutely killed it with this movie. And the performances are just so well shot. They're so well staged. I mean, everything about it is pitch perfect. And so when I found out that A24 had remastered this film, and they found the original camera negative, and from what Jerry Harrison had to say in the booklet there, they actually found the film negative and some other stuff in a warehouse in Kansas that had absolutely nothing to do with the production department or the ownership of the film. It's just randomly in a warehouse in Kansas. It's just crazy to me. But we got it, and I'm really glad to say that A24 did an absolutely phenomenal job restoring this. It does have Dolby Vision HDR, and I did watch it in that Dolby Vision. And the first thing that jumped out at me is just how perfect the black levels are now on this film. It is a very dark film, and the lighting from song to song changes every single song. And so does, the camera placements. This movie must have been hell to edit because they filmed this over the course of many nights. And now, because of the higher resolution, the enhanced colors, the black levels being enhanced, this movie is just a stunner to look at. It really is absolutely incredible from beginning to end. I noticed right away that the movie did look a couple shades darker, and that's to let the HDR kind of do its thing. And that Dolby Vision really does a lot. Now, the movie does not have a vivid color palette by any means. It's actually a very dark, muted color palette. And that's kind of by design. None of the performers are ever wearing anything kind of flashy. They're all wearing shades of like white or gray or black throughout the entire concert. And that's really by design because you're watching what they're doing, not what they're wearing. There's nothing to distract you. And that look now has been upgraded. The picture has been upgraded so much that you are literally seeing sweat on the performance faces. And I'm also glad to say that they did not use a lot of digital noise reduction on this. There is a fine layer of grain all throughout the film. So it really does keep that 35 millimeter look that the original film had. The movie does not really ever get into a saturated tone. It's, again, a very muted color palette. So the movie is not going to like blow you away in terms of colors. However, there are a few moments in the movie that really jumped out at me in terms of colors. There is a song in the film called Swamp, and that song is a great song, but that one is lit with a red background and a like they almost have like a fog machine for that one song only. And that song really now looks unreal. That's probably the most vibrant that the movie gets, honestly. But the color really now is enhanced in a way that enhances the look of the lighting, because lighting in this film is so important, and there is not one missed opportunity in terms of making that lighting more and more stylish. In the song What a Day That Was, all the performers are lit with a spotlight like right at their feet, and the shadows that come off of the performers' faces, especially David Byrne, his face, I mean, it almost looks like a German expressionistic movie for that one song. And again, the black levels are so well done that you can see things now in the darkness that you may not have seen before. Little shadow details and things like that are just stunning now, and the whole movie is like that. It's just so impressive to see. The one of the final songs, "Girlfriend Is Better," where David Byrne comes out in that ridiculous giant suit, which gets me every time I watch it. It's such a sight to see. That song in particular is lit by a crewman that is literally just walking around with a spotlight and going to each of the performers. That's a really brilliant idea. But as he's walking out, you can almost see that spotlight is so bright it like arcs. It almost has like a bluish hue to it, and you can literally see the difference in the bulbs now as they're lighting everything. The warm lighting of the bulbs in the lamp that David Byrne is dancing with in This Must Be the Place. What an amazing look that scene now has, because the rest of the stage is very, very dark, but that lamp is blindingly bright. And there is a shot where the lamp comes right at the camera, and it is now so bright versus the rest of everything, and it has like a white, warm, almost vanilla hue to it. It's so impressive to look at. And so for picture quality on this, it's a knockout. It really has, raised the bar in terms of black levels, the lighting, everything is just a stunner. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me for the picture quality. It's really impressive. Now, as for the audio on this does come with an all-new remix of the original audio in Dolby Atmos, and that Atmos sound mix is absolutely incredible. You can hear each individual instrument that is being played on stage, and it is now crystal clear. You can even hear like little things going on in the audience in terms of reactions at some times that I have never heard before. The band is mainly placed in the front speakers, but everything is used to perfection. Everything is placed perfectly as well. So when a performer is on this side of the stage, you're hearing them over here. When David Byrne is in the middle, he's centered. The drummer is over there. It's so perfectly placed, and the bass now on this is really, really impressive. That was the number one thing that jumped out at me, is Tina Weymouth's bass playing throughout the film just sounds so pronounced now. David Byrne singing, everything throughout the film sounds absolutely stupendous. It may actually be one of the best Dolby Atmos mixes I have ever heard. Shockingly incredible job by A24 for this. They were not messing around when it came to the sound on this. I was blown away. There is also the original stereo mix included as well. The set is also loaded with special features. So there are actually 3 cuts on this disc. I watched the original theatrical version for this review, but there's also a secondary version that's completely restored. But it also includes 3 songs that were cut out from the original film, and that's Cities, Big Business, and E Zimbra. And those have actually been restored from a new negative that was found when they found the original theatrical negative for this. They couldn't find the original negative for those songs, but they did actually go through and remaster those shots from the this other negative that was located. So it's kind of interesting. And then there's also what they're referring to as the Jonathan Demme extended cut, which is from 1985, and that includes the original takes of Cities, Big Business, and E Zimbra. But the ones that are in there are what was originally intended to be in the film. Sadly, the negative of those songs were missing, so that's why you have these alternative camera angles in the new extended version of the film. And that is actually a transfer from a 1989 Laserdisc. The audio and video quality is not as good because it's basically just a direct transfer from that Laserdisc. So it is a lower quality version, but it is included for completion's sake. So I thought that was pretty great. There's also a question and answer featurette with the talking heads, surprisingly all together, which is an amazing thing. And that's called Does Anybody Have Any Questions? That's a really interesting watch. And then the most peculiar thing, there is a featurette called 26 Minutes of David Byrne Dancing in Silence. And that is archival VHS footage of David Byrne just kind of dancing around, almost as like a practice for this film, kind of practicing his choreography as it were. The new bonus songs are actually included separately as well, so if you didn't want to watch the new extended cut of the movie, you can watch the newly restored alternate negative that was found for those 3 songs, and you can watch those separately. And there's also the 1985 Jonathan Demme edit, which is the original footage that sadly has been lost. All they could find was the copy from it, and a 1999 Digibeta transfer of those songs. It's probably the slightly upgraded looking version of the original cut of those songs. So kind of interesting there. And there's also a commentary from director Jonathan Demme that was recorded in 1999, but they remixed it last year, and it actually includes previously unpublished archival audio. So that's something I'm definitely going to be listening to in the future, because I have heard the original commentary back in the day, and that was a really good commentary. I really miss Jonathan Demme. We lost him way too soon. So this is an extremely impressive set here from A24. I was really blown away by the fact that they could fit so much stuff on one disc. Now, the only thing is, and this is the major pain point for this set, is that A, you can only get it from the A24 shop website, and B, this thing is a little over $60 after shipping. This is not a cheap purchase. I guess I can say that if you're a giant fan of the Talking Heads and you love this film, then this is probably a must-buy. If you're not, then this may be a bridge too far for you guys. It's very expensive, and I do recognize that. I got it because I really love this film, and I will watch this again and again, and I've already watched the Blu-ray dozens of times. I had the DVD back in the day, so I kind of had to get this. I wish they had a normal, non-giant book version that would be a little bit cheaper, but that's the way A24 does things. They're pretty fancy. I do not know if this is going to get a standard version anytime soon, but for what you get in here, this is amazing. It's an absolutely amazing looking transfer. The new sound mix just blew me away. It was so phenomenal. And the special features included are really, really interesting, and they're a great accompaniment to the film. So I loved it. And if you're a fan, definitely pick it up. But just know it's not going to be cheap. That's the only catch with this. So anyway, that's it for today for Kavanaugh's Corner. I want to say thank you so very much for coming back to the channel. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel below so I can keep bringing you new videos like this. Until next time, please stay safe and take it easy.